Hello, welcome to Elevated Engineering. I'm your host, the Elevated Engineer. So we're gonna go ahead and go right into it today. And oh, what a topic it is. Whoo! So, as we've heard, your boy was diagnosed with the Rona. And I wanted to discuss why that's important and why it makes a difference to everyone else's life. The first thing that we need to discuss is that, as Trump has shown us, anybody can get it. Oh boy. Anybody can get the corona. So if you think that for whatever reason, whether it be a race, religion, how much money you have, your levels of power and authority in society, I think it's time for us to sit and realize that this thing is serious, it's real, and of course, anybody can get it. So I believe that with Trump's situation, him being in a hospital, him being on all these other situations, it's a tricky thing, okay? So what I wanted to do was I wanted to actually look and see what he was actually taking, like his whole cocktail, his whole, treatment situation. So I believe he's on Regeneron, but I'm not, hold on. Hydrochloroquine or whatever it is, it's called, whatever bullshit he came up with, but so let's go ahead and share the screen so we can make sure that we all on the same page. Okay, so spoiler alert. Okay, so he's at Walter Reed Hospital right now. And he's taking antibody cocktail Trump received. It's a combination of two antibodies directed against the key protein of virus. Anti-whatever. Whatever. It's the Regeneron thing, right? Okay, yeah, let me just Google it just to make sure. What cocktail is Trump taking for corona treatment? Regeneron. Okay, and that's Fox News, but I'm pretty sure it's Regeneron. Okay, but you just see, like, Regeneron it is. Okay. I think that's very important because you get to see really what these politicians are getting, and not just politicians, but these other people. You get to see the difference in the medical system. You get to see how and why there's so many cases of corona, especially in the Black community. So I just find it interesting that, people say he's a president, he's rich. Okay, well, maybe this is a reason why we should take this stuff kind of serious, because of course anybody can get it, which brings me to my next point. More politicians and people of note are going to be coming down with the Rona, period. Why? We know for a fact that Trump was at a super spreader event. Was he in Jersey on Wednesday? Come on, man. What do you think is going to happen? So we've seen already Chris Christie has come down with it. We've seen Kellyanne Conway, Hope Hicks, all his entire staff. So you got to expect more people to show up, and a lot of these people are older, out of shape. So I think that's important too, because we see the quality of socialized medicine. They always mention how Medicare for all, socialized medicine, the government's putting their hands on our Medicare. Well, it's actually beneficial. Trump is getting some stuff. I read a little earlier that he's getting what they use for the Ebola situation. So I guess they're using Ebola treatments to treat corona. So, okay, that's fine. But a lot of people didn't get that. And I didn't see Herman Cain getting that shit either. I didn't see Herman Cain getting that. So I think it's just important for us to realize that, like, you know, Medicare for all needs to be a thing. And it's just also interesting how much people were so against. Granted, Affordable Care Act wasn't ideal, but still, we need to start having medicine that's available for everyone in the country who's either a citizen or however they want to work it out, but we got to have it. Private healthcare is not is not the key for us to move forward as a society. So yeah, that's my take on Trump is Corona. Also, I wanted to mention the movement video I was going to upload today, but it got delayed. Why did it get delayed? Because I am so damn busy. Okay? Listen, we are in midterms right now. I just signed a new client, which is, of course, great, but, you know, I'm super busy. Also putting these videos up. Man, like, I'm busy. So I don't want to make excuses. I want to sit here like, oh, I should have put up the stuff. But it definitely is a process. These videos, trying to figure out what videos I should put up. Also figuring out the development, what the development levels, how would this help, let's say, a beginner, novice, medium to experience, whatever you are on the development spectrum. Right now, I'm only focusing on Unity, of course, because that's what I work in all the time. C++, C# for, or C++ for a real C# for Unity, but that's what I'm really focused on right now. Also, I'm going to be putting up more like cloud infrastructure type stuff. I don't want to bore you all. I know this is probably not what you came here for, because you're probably expecting me to get more into the topics, which I am about to, but I wanted to touch on that just a little more before I got to the next one, which is Elon Musk's Neuralink, and where are we going? Did we see this? Did we see that Elon Musk developed the Neuralink? I mean, well, I'm not gonna say Elon Musk developed it, but he's actually putting, you know, the effort into it. But yeah, he made a lot of really good points on the applications of it, particularly the health benefits. With, you know, the thing about the Neuralink, and really what it is just implanting a chip in your brain or whatnot. But the thing about the Neuralink that I think is of note, and is what they're going to use to sell it to you, to be honest, are the literal cure of mental ailments. So, well, mental ailments caused by disease or what have you. Those, for example, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. I'm actually going to pull up the article really, really, really quick. But I wanted to show just where we're at, okay? So, as anyone can see, we're going to be brain hacking soon. Sooner or later, we're going to be brain hacking. So, as you can see, we're just going to go into this. I'm going to read it really quick and just kind of comment on it. So it's the interface. We're talking about Neuralink. The interface could allow people with neurological conditions to control phones or computers with their mind. We're talking about technopathy, which we're heading towards. Mr. Musk argues such chips could eventually be used to help cure conditions such as dementia, Parkinson's disease, and spinal cord injuries. I will say for a fact that if you've ever seen someone age and come down with Parkinson's or Alzheimer's or dementia, it's pretty tragic and very sad to see happen. However, but the long-term ambition is to usher in an age of what Mr. Musk calls superhuman cognition, in part to combat artificial intelligence so powerful, he says, it could destroy the human race. Gertrude was one of 3 pigs in a pen, and Gertrude is a pig that they were experimenting on. She took a while to get going, but when she ate and sniffed the straw, the activity showed up on a graph tracking her neural activity, wirelessly. She then mostly ignored all the attention around her, meaning they can control the pig through the Neuralink. You see where I'm going with this? You see where I'm going with technology, why it's important, and why, especially us, we need to get a foothold on this type of stuff, because anybody has control over this technology. I personally, I'm studying Neuralinks and neuroscience networks right now for network science. It's basically the beginnings of clustering. Basically, clustering is what Facebook and IG does to you. They cluster you with other people or other topics that you've either liked or they think will relate to you, and they use that to create these models based off of you in order to sell you stuff, or in order for advertisers to sell you stuff. But that's basically what you know, that what a neuroscience network is. It's a neural network, it's essentially. And as you can see, he says one of the big fears he has is going to be to combat the looming AI threat, which is interesting because, let me just say this. A lot of people think that when they think of AI, they think of like Terminator and Matrix and going crazy. And that's okay. That's sure. That's one thing. But what they don't think about is the AI that's being used right now to control your mind. They want you to come to their website. They want you to come to social websites. They want you to come to Facebook. They want you to come to YouTube. They want you to use Google search. Yeah. So speaking of which, has anybody seen that movie, or it's a movie / documentary? It's called The Social Dilemma. It's on Netflix. For someone like me, it blew my mind because I'm a person who is in the know. I just am, and I have been for a while. It's kind of what I do. But man, it scared me. It really did. It really scared me because you really get to see where we're heading, man. You get to see how they've been using these social medias to control everything you do. Everything you do can be controlled on social media. How many of us are completely addicted to our phones, reaching for our phones? We oh my God, I can't, where's it at? You know what I mean? Like, So I think that's very important that people understand how these companies look at you. And that's also really important too. What I said about AI, people don't think about AI that's being used every day to control you. But people also don't take into consideration what a social media platform / network is. Yes, we all know Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and Snapchat. These are social media networks, the social media platform. They're giants. God damn, they're like half the world on them. But what you don't think of as social media, and they are very good at hiding themselves, is Google. You don't think of Google as a social media network like Facebook, but it is. So is YouTube. So is Netflix. And if we really want to get down to it, so is Pornhub. They're controlling you, and with little pushes in the algorithm in a direction, they could say, you know what, let me go ahead and maybe I was giving him too many ads. Let me go ahead and slightly nudge in this ad for whatever politician has paid us. Whatever news stories have paid us, we're going to go ahead and just slightly put this in your timeline just to see if you react. And by we, I'm talking about the AI. How many people are on Facebook? Maybe a billion or two? How many employees does Facebook have? A couple hundred? Maybe a few hundred? It ain't that many. What it is they have an AI for each one of you, and he's looking at you. And that AI is actually sitting and saying, how can I make this person come back to my platform? Oh, notifications. Let's make these notifications and let's make them as addicting as we possibly can. And that's what AI is in 2020. Is AI is controlling almost every aspect of your life, whether you want to admit it or not. You're looking for your phone. You're looking for validation within your tribe, within your culture. But the internet, social media, Web 2.0, as they call it, your tribe has expanded to goddamn wherever on the planet. Hell, off the planet. Talk about signals. That's where we're at right now, and it's getting scary. I can't lie. It's getting really scary. Why? Right now, it's just companies. And sure, we might be in a corporatocracy, kind of. What happens when it's dictators? What happens when dictators use the same technology that Facebook uses to track and control you? What happens when a dictator uses that and says, you know what, I want to take down this country, you know? So I think that's something we got to think about going forward, man. This technology, man, it's there for everybody to use. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? So this brings me to my final topic of the day: the realities of entrepreneurship. I've been doing these reality segments at the end of each one of my broadcasts / shows. I think it's important to get some insight. But the first thing I will say about being an entrepreneur and being the realities of being an entrepreneur is expect to fail, but hope to win. It's the reality. You're gonna fail a lot. I don't think people really understand how much entrepreneurs fail before they actually get some success. I can say that I have failed a extraordinary amount of times. I mean, it's part of being an entrepreneur, man. You got to understand that you're not going to be, at the top of your game all the time. People, especially when you first starting out, I mean, nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows your product. Nobody knows your work ethic. Nobody knows anything about you. There's no, oh, you got an LLC. You claim to be good at your job and blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, show me. That's what they're going to say. And if you can't do it, then that's going to be on you. So I think that we need to understand why it's important to just always put your best foot forward. I really got I had to give it up to the person who gave me that advice some years ago. It was definitely some of the best advice I've gotten is just always put your best foot forward. I know it sounds like, oh yeah, no shit. Yeah, I know that, but a lot of times Black folk don't put our best foot forward. Why? Because we expect people to like us or like our work or whatever. And obviously this isn't exclusively for Black folks. Again, I've said this before. My message is universal, but I am talking to Black folk right now. Y'all know we don't be putting our best foot forward. Y'all know we don't. Fuck out of here. What are we talking about? How many times have we gone to a Black-owned business and you get in there and they treat you like whatever? You know, you get in there, you be like, yo, I've been waiting for 45 minutes. Y'all said it was gonna take 5. Well, hey man, bro, fuck, we working on it, tight. And it's just like, yo, come on. Like, I will say that Black folks are new to the game. Black folks are new to the party. Let's keep it a buck, man. We know our situations, but Black folks are new to the party, and you don't really notice it until you start doing business outside of the U.S., which I'm doing right now. I live in Miami, Florida for right now because I'm in school. But once I graduate school, I'm gonna be traveling a lot more and still doing work because a lot of my clients are in Europe, China, India. So I'm going to have to. The truth is, a lot of these people don't really know that much about Black people. They only know about Black people what they see on TV, and who controls TV. It ain't Black folks. Okay, so they only know that. So it's for an entrepreneur, ADOS entrepreneur, African American, FBA, whatever. You really got to understand that you're coming new to the party, and the rest of the world has been doing this for a long time. Now, what makes you different is we are the best. Let's keep it a buck, man. ADOS are the best resource the United States of America has. Point blank, period. We always have been, and likely, I don't know if we always will, because the way we vote and the way we shoot ourselves in the foot with our voting and the way we don't work with each other, the way we don't invest in our own communities, that's why we in the back. Yeah, we got to deal with racism, white supremacy. Yeah. We all know that. But if we're not going to be putting our best efforts forward, then it's gonna show, and people gonna be like, all right, well, them niggas wasn't shit. Yeah, we know that. Y'all wouldn't. We ain't gonna fuck with y'all. We just gonna come to America and get this bread, and get the fuck out of here. Get all the way the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Especially with the way this country is looking like it's going. We gonna get our shit. We gonna get our bread. Get the fuck out of here. You know? But we ain't going no place. We know we ain't going no place. I mean, we could say there's this mythological land that we can pretend to go back to, but my dad's from Connecticut, you know what I'm saying? I will be visiting Africa. I do business in Africa, whatever. But, but I mean, that's the thing, though. We got to realize that there's a whole market that we ain't never tapped into. Most Black folk are only really used to doing business with other niggas. You know what I'm saying? Other niggas. Like that's what we're used to. So when you get used to doing business with other Black folk, and then you got to, talk to somebody in Norway or something, you can't come with the, yo, what's up, baby? I got this. I got that, like with the flash, you know what I'm saying? With the swag. Yeah, you can have the swag, you can have the flash, but you got to have the substance as well. And if you don't have that substance, then you just talking shit. And a lot of us, we got that swag. Oh, yeah, what's up, baby? We, you know what I'm saying? We could sell salt to a slug. All right, yeah, that's great. But can you do this job better than these people over here? Because I don't know nothing about you. This is what somebody was saying to let's say a Black entrepreneur. I don't know nothing about you, but what's really crazy is I would say that I get a lot more business from overseas clients that I do in the US. So all the money's the same shit. I mean, I use, like, for example, I use Upwork, which is a freelance website. The Upwork is good because, you know, they handle all the money, and, you know, you use their platform. It's honestly kind of like a social media network for jobs, freelance jobs. But yeah, I use Neuralink. Neuralink, you see where my head is. I see Upwork. Yeah, I use that pretty regularly, man, and that's where I get all these clients, these customers at. The crazy thing too is, man, once you start really freelancing, doing what I'm doing, like coding, developing, and all that good stuff, man, people are working on some dope ass products that you would never get in the US unless you want to go work for one of these, you know, Silicon Valley startups, whatever. Man, I ain't never been a fan of that shit, to be honest. Yeah, man, I'm about to go on a rant again. You already know. And this definitely goes into entrepreneurship too. Man, you see what the actual hiring rate of Silicon Valley. I'm not gonna pull it up because anybody could just Google from 2000, let's say 10 to 2020. What is the percentage of the top biggest tech companies hired? Not we're black, I could say we're just black, we're also ADOS, who are also descendants of slave in America. What's the percentage of new hirees from 2010 to 2020? If someone could pull that up, I'm sure it's out there. But the last time I checked, and this was a few years ago, it was less than 2%. Silicon Valley been there for a minute. And there's plenty of black folks, although not as much as a percentage as I would want. There's plenty of black folks that, you know, got those qualifications but ain't getting a job. I know that for Biz Act. But that's why I don't want to work for these big companies, man. I mean, look, Google used to be, hey, don't be evil. I don't even know if that shit is still there anymore. Facebook started off as Space Smash. You know what's really interesting? Like, I'm not a billionaire, millionaire, any of that. But a lot of these guys they're not that spread out in age from me. I think Mark Zuckerberg is like a year older than me, or a year or two. Like, they're in the mid to late 30s, a lot of them. But you wonder what's like, yo, these guys are billionaires, man. And you really got a motherfucker like me. I'm just saying, there's nothing special about Mark Zuckerberg. There's nothing special about what's his name? Is it Jack Dempsey, the guy, the Twitter guy? There's nothing special about these dudes. They just had, you know, the right upbringing, to be honest. And they were allowed to go hard, you know. But I don't have that luxury. I can't just. My dad's not a super dentist like Zuckerberg's. My dad isn't a patent lawyer like Bill Gates, who helped him to understand these patent laws, which is why Microsoft is on every goddamn thing. Like, nah, I don't have any of that. I just have me, which is, you know, cool for me, because being an entrepreneur to me is more fulfilling. And that's why I say you got to bring your best foot forward. It's that simple. Everybody, you hear all this shit. Well, you start your own business, you know. You hear all this stuff online. You see all these, like, oh, let's say the rappers. Let's say all these people. Oh, you start your own business, man. Most of these people are highly paid employees. Most of these people are highly paid employees. They have contracts with big companies. So they full of shit. Now, people like Nipsey, the way Nipsey had gotten himself to a point where he was so high and up there and so successful as an independent artist that he could then come back and negotiate the best contract he can get. But so, I mean, that's my show. That's Elevated Engineering today. Thank you so much, family. Like, share, subscribe, and please come back. That's it.